What's going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 62 of the Bristol Rovers career mode series. And in this episode we are firstly going to be going into the transfers because it is the January transfer window and we are looking to pick up another striker. Yes, you heard me, another striker. But we're going to try and do a swap deal with Hartlepool for James Paul. He's 25 years old, could pick him up on a pre-contract deal, but I've got another striker in mind that I really do want to pick up on a pre-contract deal. I'd rather sign this guy on a kind of a permanent basis for the rest of the season as well as next season. And I am going to be offering Cody McDonald, I believe, in a swap deal because I feel that Cody McDonald is getting a little bit too old for my liking. He's 29 now. I did pick him up on a pre-contract last season, I think, when we did get promoted to the Championship, I think. So hopefully he will be a really good player for us, James Paul. He's left-footed, so he'll be really good on the right striker position. But right here you can see we've got the squad report for this month, and not many players have increased because most of them have already gone up to their maximum potential for this season, +3 or +4. Some of them still have a little bit of growth in them, such as Frank Doyle. I think he could get up to 64 or 65 by the end of the season. But a couple of players such as Max Clayton, as well as I think, yeah, Ryan Gould, he's really not grown at all. As well as Connor Gough, he doesn't have any potential whatsoever, so maybe I'll look to shift on those three players, as well as a couple of others that are sitting in the reserves and just rotting away, wasting their career at Bristol Rovers because they're just not good enough. And that is a problem that I have with a lot of these players because we did come from the Power League 2, mind you, and that does mean we've got quite a few crappy players that just won't grow, such as Connor Gough. I mean, 52 overall, he's not even going to get into the first team in the Power League 2, let alone in the Championship or even the Barclays Premier League. But anyway, we're coming up against Crystal Palace, first of all, in this episode. We've got a few games in this episode, and the first one is going to be against Crystal Palace. They've got a really good team, quite a lot of young English talent that I do want to purchase, but something that I am aware of is that next season, if we do get promoted to the BPL, then I am going to be looking, if we don't get enough funds, to do a financial takeover. So let me know in the comments down below if you're okay with that. It will be the smallest one possible, so it's not going to be like I'm going to have 50 million to spend. Although, to be honest with you, I just think that I've done a career mode with another team and I've taken them from the Power League 2 all the way to the BPL. That was last year on FIFA 13. Guess how much I got? I think I was York City or something. Guess how much I got when I got promoted to the BPL? 750,000 a week and 3 grand on wages. That is useless. That is absolutely useless. I would have liked to have that starting off in the Power League 2, but no, you know what? When you get to the BPL, you've seen teams such as Cardiff, and they've spent quite a few millions on players in the summer transfer window. One of those players being Stephen Corker. Now, Stephen Corker is a great English talent, and he went for 8 million. Now, you see, those are the kind of funds that I do want. I know that Bristol Rovers wouldn't have the most amount of funds in the world, but they certainly have a little bit more money than that. I mean, I'm hoping that when we do get promoted, it's not going to be that small a figure, and it's going to be a little bit more than that, because if I do get 700 grand or 1 million and 3 grand a week or 6 grand a week, that's still not enough for the players I want to buy. I want to be buying players from the Championship, from the Barclays Premier League as well, and I've got quite a few players on my mind. Most of them are English players with a lot of potential in them, because I am looking to revamp the squad if we do get to the BPL, and when we do, or if we do, it's looking quite likely at the moment after we score 2 goals with 2 of the shortest players on the pitch. Yes, that's right. Adam Reed and Ryan Gould actually scored headers. It's just ridiculous. 36 heading accuracy, and that's what you give me. Thank you, Reed, for scoring that. 2-0 in this game against Crystal Palace. But anyway, players that I want to buy. I really do hope that they sort this out in career mode, because having that little funds, I was in my York City career mode, having that little funds to spend on players, these players, by the time we're in the year, whatever it is, 2017 or 2016, they're going to be a bit more developed, they're going to be on higher wages, and it's going to be harder to bring in real-life players. And that's something I want to be doing, bringing in real-life players, not free agents that have no faces, and then I just end up with a team just full of no-face players, because who's going to want that? I mean, I hate having players that have no faces, and with the exception of Gerard Hughes, I guess you could say, I just don't like it whatsoever. It's really unrealistic, and I think that's another thing that EA should change. They should make it so that when you are in career mode and a player is regenerated or a generated player, they should have a randomised face. And if they have that, that would just be absolutely awesome, because it would mean that I'd buy these players that just don't have faces, but have a lot of potential to be really good players. That's something that I am aware of. But in any career mode of mine, no matter what it is, if it's Bristol Rovers, whatever career mode I'm doing on FIFA 14, I make a rule to myself. Do not buy players that have no faces. Just promote them from the youth academy, because those players, they have a bit more realism to them, although they're still not really that real, really, when you think about it. But you can see here in this game, we were 3-1 up against Crystal Palace, and Max Clayton does come on and pick up a penalty. And of course, Ryan Brunt, the man who's just been scoring so many goals this season, is going to take this penalty. Will he score it? Just about past Julio Cesar and into the back of the net. That was a very nice penalty taken there from Ryan Brunt, and that's another goal to add to his tally this season. He's had so many goals this season, and yeah, I am 4-1 up against Crystal Palace, and that does make me think, maybe it's time to change the difficulty. Maybe it's time to go up as a level. Maybe it's time to go up to Legendary. If you are, I don't know really, because if I go up to Legendary, I'm a bit worried that if I do that, I'm just going to lose every game. That's something that I do not want, and it's not entertaining for you guys either. But at the same time, beating Crystal Palace with this team 4-1 is just not realistic whatsoever. 16 goals for Ryan Brunt now. He's been on fire, and it wasn't over yet. There was still more goals to come, and it was actually from Crystal Palace, who did pick up a corner in the 83rd minute after a great save from Lainton there. And this is something I do want to stress. The fact that I'm winning 4-1 is very, very undeserved. In these matches, I've been winning emphatically, and it looks like it's been very one-sided, but that is not the case. You can see they score there from a corner, quite luckily, but nevertheless they do score, and it pulls it back to 4-2. But I've noticed that a lot of you have been saying maybe it's time to up the difficulty. Yes, I am aware of that. But if you look at the match stats after every game, you will see how many saves or how many shots on target the other team have had compared to us. You'll have a look in a minute. We won the game 4-2 in the end. I mean, 2 goals from Brunt and 2 goals from the shortest players scoring headers. I mean, it would have been 2-2 otherwise. It would have been, because those 2 players scoring headers is probably 1 in 10 or 1 in a million chance of happening, because they're short. I mean, how is Ryan Gould going to score a diving header when he's got 58 heading accuracy, or even worse than that, because he's only 5'9"? And that really does display how OP headers are in this game. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Something I need to fix. 7 shots, 5 on target. Fair enough. 4 goals though. Clinical or what? That is seriously clinical. They had 3 shots and they scored 2 goals. So I guess you could say maybe it was a fair match, but in the end, winning that and being as far ahead as I am on these points is quite interesting to see. But I did sim this match here against Cardiff. We're going to be simming in quite a few matches in this episode, and early on in the game, Corker did get injured, which did help me, and made sure that I did keep the lead to 0-0 at half time. And nothing really happened in the game, and then Noon scored, but Brunt followed up and managed to get us the 1 point in this game. So that's not too bad against Cardiff. Getting the draw, that's more realistic. That's something that you guys probably do want to see, but something you don't want to see is me simming lows. But unfortunately, we just want to get to the Premier League as soon as possible, because otherwise this series is going to go on forever. We've just got to get there as soon as possible. But we get a loan offer from Bradford City for Ryan Gould. I do accept that without any hesitation whatsoever, and we do sign James Paul as well at the expense of Cody McDonald. Do not mind that. He's a younger striker, he's got a bit more potential, and he starts off at, yeah, he's 66 overall, which isn't too bad. Pretty good at jumping, although I don't think he's the tallest of players. He's not great physically, but his finishing, look at that, 67, not too bad there. Long shot's good, and penalties also decent as well. Medium low work rates. Unfortunately, he's injury prone, which may be a problem, and that may mean he does get injured a lot. But luckily, we've got quite a lot of backup. We've got Max Clayton, we've got Frank Doyle, who plays centre forward. He can play cam or striker as well, which is very useful. We have about 6 strikers. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous when you think about it. But into this game, we are simming it in the FA Cup, and it is against Millwall, and we do actually go behind twice here in this game. Harrison and Baldwin managing to save us though, and managing to take it to extra time. Luckily for us, we did score those 2 goals to make sure we did go to extra time. And in the end, we did win on penalties, so not too bad. 4-3 on penalties, and we're through to the next round. We're going to be playing West Bromwich Albion in the next round. And you can see here, I'm going in for another right back. Shalliam Logan, I think that's how you say his name, from Brentford. Looks like a really good right back, and certainly will be better than Javan Vidal. A real mistake signing that was from me. I thought he was a lot younger, but he was actually 26 years old, and he was a lot worse than I thought he would be. And you can see me just going through all of these offers here. I was getting spammed with offers for players because our players are playing so well this season. Joe Widdowson, I got an offer from Wigan Athletic. Very good offer actually, 1.1 million, and I was tempted to accept it because that's a lot of money. A lot of money indeed, and it meant that I would have been able to go out and buy some better players. But in the end, I decided just to leave it because Joe Widdowson's still got a bit of potential in him. If he was at his peak, then maybe I would be looking to sell him, but I wasn't really. And into the next game, we are playing against QPR. QPR, I do have fond memories for them, and they are in my heart as a good team on this game, as I did do a career mode with them on Xbox 360. My first career mode on YouTube, and that was a very good career mode to do. But right here, we got a goal that's disallowed. I mean, come on now. How is that a foul? I guess you could say that is a little bit of a foul there, as he did go to catch the ball. But we've seen in the past, we've actually scored from there. If that player wasn't there, we probably would have scored that past Julio Cesar, but Julio Cesar's too good in goal. We've noticed this from the QPR Career Mode series. He's a very good goalkeeper, and that really showed at full time. We end up drawing the game 0-0. Not too bad because QPR are a solid team looking for that promotion. But this will be the end of the episode, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you do want another episode of Career Mode out tomorrow, or maybe a Squads for Profit, leave a like on the video. If we can get 40 likes by the end of today, I will upload another video tomorrow. So remember, guys, let's hit that target of 35 likes, actually. I think that's more realistic. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. If you have, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.